Hello, I'm Sandy Potter.
I'm Michael L., and welcome to Ageless Living. We're happy to join you once again from our home studios as we continue to stay home and stay safe.
And we hope this finds you doing well during this holiday season. Like many of you, we've been reflecting upon the challenges of this year and looking ahead to the new year with great anticipation.
That's right, and we thought, what a better way to wrap up our 2020 shows than by exploring the many benefits that keeping a positive mindset provides.
Recently, I sat down with two of our incredible Masonicare hospice team members, Fran and Chris, to talk about how to have an attitude of gratitude and hope, despite what life may throw at us. Let's take a look at our virtual discussion. Hi, Fran and Chris. Thank you both so much for joining me today. Recently we all worked together on a project, and I was so very grateful to get to know you both more. As members of our Masonicare hospice and palliative care team, Fran, you're a social worker, and Chris, you're one of our spiritual care coordinators. You help our patients and their families every day who are facing some very emotional circumstances. I'm curious to know how you've approached this during a year when COVID-19 has added additional challenges.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that there's not a cookie cutter approach. I think everybody has to find something to do. I think people say, well, I usually do blah, blah, but I'm not allowed to go to the gym anymore. And I'm not allowed to do whatever anymore. And I think what we have to look at is what does going to the gym give us, and then find another way of getting that. And I'm not saying it's easy at all, but I think that we have to think of the result, and then we have to find a way. And also, I think some things just come up. I'm almost embarrassed to tell you that I'm making pot holders at night. I mean, it's something that I did at camp many, many moons ago, but I find that, and I hate to say it, it's mindless almost. You just pick up the color and nobody's going to mind if the colors don't really match. But I keep my fingers busy, and I really don't have to concentrate on it. And that was just something that popped up. So I think we just find our ways. I think we have to be open to them, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Although it's interesting you started with, going to the gym, because that is something I was doing regularly until COVID-19. But I certainly have encouraged, maybe not so much our patients, because they're typically close to end of life, but certainly family members and people. I've encouraged them to stay physically active somehow, in some way. Get out of the house, walk around the block, or go to the park, take a walk. Just because I think it's so important to, keep our bodies working as well as our minds, and get out with nature and experience the rejuvenation that can come from that. And then in terms of activities, it's funny because I'm really not a puzzle person, but I think in the spring I got this like 3D architectural puzzle thing, and I worked on that. It took the better part of a month in my downtime to get this puzzle taken care of. But I'm so glad I did it, because while working on that puzzle, it's all you're focused on. You really can't think of anything else. You're just focused on getting this one task, or this one hobby, this one pleasure done. And I found that really, really beneficial at the time. And I would just add, as a spiritual care coordinator, of course, I encourage prayer, reflection, meditation, journaling, all these as, beneficial ways of helping us cope during challenging times. And in particular, I think of the Psalms. I often recommend the Psalms to our patients and families, because so many of the Psalms are just so reassuring, and they have been giving comfort and strength and hope to people for 3,000 plus years now. So they obviously have a good track record of helping people out and helping people cope through difficult times.
Absolutely. That's so many great suggestions. And I guess it really is just about finding the the outlet or outlets that work for you, you know, getting in some sort of physical activity or being mentally creative, or like Fran said, sometimes it's, or you both said, sometimes it's just about letting your mind be quiet in whatever way is best for you. And I think that's great. And it's a very personal thing. But those are all great ideas. You know, and we've all heard a lot about the benefits of keeping a positive mindset. And can you talk about ways we can cultivate positivity in our lives?
You know, one thing I found myself doing, you know, during the course of this pandemic is, you know, when you're kind of stuck at home and when you're not seeing your friends or your extended family members or even your coworkers, you know, we really don't see each other often except in this kind of format. Right. You can just really focus on yourself. You can focus on what you're missing. You can focus on what you don't have. And I just gradually learned for myself, I've really got to focus on what I do have. You know, these things that are right in front of me or right next to me. I'm thinking of my pets. My cats are often literally right next to me while I'm working and stuff. And, you know, the family that I am living with and the friends who I do chat with, text with, Skype with sometimes, the roof over my head. And, you know, sadly, there are people out there who don't have that right now and don't have jobs. And so, you know, I'm just really trying still, you know, I really try every day to focus on what I do have versus what I don't have.
What I do, I found, is that comedy helps me.
Sure.
And I found that comedic shows on TV, and I'm a firm devotee of Law and Order. I can tell you the scripts, okay? What everybody's going to say. That's how often I've watched them. But I'm not watching them that much anymore because that's not giving me what I need now. Again, this isn't the highest intellectual pursuit I'm going to talk about, but it works. There's something called bloopers of your TV shows on YouTube. Again, this is almost embarrassing, but on YouTube, they have bloopers of I Love Raymond or Raymond shows, whatever it was. It makes me laugh. And that's all I want to do is laugh.
Sure.
And there are times when I'll say, no, I'm not going to watch that show. It's a drama show, but I just don't need the drama. I need something that makes me laugh. And I found that when I do that, it makes me cope better. And I don't think, this suggestion isn't anything new, all right? But I found that I'm going to it a lot more now than I ever did. As the pandemic goes on, I've gotten really silly about what I'm watching. But it helps me. It's my therapy, if you will.
Good.
So I think sometimes it's never cookie cutter, okay? We all find things differently. What I find funny, somebody else might find ludicrous, okay? But I think if we go for more of a lighthearted, because I think we're all coping with the tragedy of this pandemic, with knowing people are losing a lot, have lost a lot. And we do what we can do, but we have to wake up and go to work the next day and be our best. And that gives me a lightness, all right? Again, I'm putting it out there, I'm being honest. You know, I'm not going for the Three Stooges though, so that I think saves me. But I think find humor and in anything, you know, you can find it. I just go right for the common denominator, bloopers.
Sure. I think you make a good point, Fran. And, you know, even if one doesn't intentionally seek out comedies or funny things to watch, I do think it's so important to tune out the negativity. You know, there's so much negativity, and I can only, on TV I'm talking about, or on the radio, I suppose, or on the internet. So I've been really intentional about not listening to the news all day long, not listening to the news when I'm in my car driving out to see patients and stuff, because I can only take so much COVID news, so much election news, so much of the, the really intense, heated news out there right now. I can only take so much of that before it really starts eating away at me or distracting me. And so it's important to tune that out or limit our exposure to it, however best we do that.
I had a friend who told me I can't take it anymore. I can't take listening to the news. I said, turn off the TV.
Yeah. That's right.
You don't have to watch 24 hours, So I think you're right, Chris. Different ways.
Thanks.
Absolutely. And, we're quickly heading into 2021 now. What messages can you share with us about looking ahead to the new year with hopefulness?
Well, for myself, I mean, there are two immediate things that come to mind. One is, thank God, there is a COVID-19 vaccine that is even now being distributed, and people are being vaccinated. And, it came very quickly as vaccines go. But from all reports, it's very effective. And I just think that is a very hopeful, positive thing, looking forward to the new year and the start of the end of this pandemic. And then also, I don't want to get too political or anything, but, a new president and a new vice president, the first female vice president in our history. I think that's a hopeful thing, a positive thing. This is something that happens every 4 years or every 8 years in our country. And, no matter whose candidate wins, it's an opportunity for new leadership and new direction and new achievements, for us as a democracy. So, I'm very hopeful about the new presidency and everything that comes with it come January.
I think we have to give ourselves credit. Everybody gives themselves credit for having coped.
Yeah.
We have coped with something that nobody has coped with since 1918.
Right.
And it's been a different type of coping because it was a different world in 1918 than it was in 2020.
Yeah.
And I just think we have to say, we did a good job. You can always say you could do better, but we could always have done worse. We just tried to adapt and tried to cope. And I think we all did it the best we could do. And I think we really have to give ourselves credit. And I don't think we do. We're always pointing at what we could have done better. We should have done this. This wasn't a rule book. Everybody was scurrying to do the best that we could do. So, I'm proud of what we've done.
Yeah.
I'm proud of how we reacted. Looking back, could we have done better? Yeah, but hindsight is always wonderful.
Sure.
But I think we have to give ourselves credit.
Absolutely. And I think, I think some of us, including myself, at the end of the year, just kind of, give thanks that we made it through, that we are still alive. And, sometimes we do that in a comical way. But this year, I'm grateful I'm still alive. And that's not to certainly demean or disrespect the 300,000 people who have not made it through this year because of COVID-19. I'm glad that I've made it, my immediate family, my loved ones, we're all currently healthy and safe and have made it through. So I'm just grateful, grateful for that. And glad so many of us have made it through together.
Yeah, that's important.
I could talk to you all day about this, but I think that's a perfect way to end it for now, and a reminder of how much we really do have to be grateful for. Well, thank you both so much for joining me today and for all of your insight. I wish you happy holidays and a healthy new year as well.
Right. Thank you, Sylvie. Same to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And now, let's take a look at what's happening around Masonicare. The Rainbow Girls, a Masonic youth service organization, recently toured through our Wallingford campus in a special car caravan, led by Masonicare's Vice President of Fraternal Relations, Carl Anderson, to bring holiday cheer to our residents. Thank you to the Rainbow Girls for this thoughtful gesture that brought such joy to all involved. The hard-working recreation teams at our residential communities have been busy decking the halls with holiday decor. A special thank you to our staff, who found creative ways to keep holiday celebrations going all year throughout this pandemic. Check out their festive decorations for the season.
Thank you so much for joining us for another virtual edition of Ageless Living. We appreciate your viewership this year and wish you a very special holiday season.
We look forward to bringing you more stories about living well in the new year as we take this journey together.
And until next time, stay well and remember, be ageless. Bye.